And we are live. Good evening, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gem in the Crypto, episode 441. Today is Friday, July 26th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 3-ish.
And today, a lot of great stories. We'll be talking about the IRS sending 10,000 tax compliance letters to crypto investors. MIT fellow and NYU math professor says Libra copied off co-authored paper. ABRA restricts Americans from holding EOS and 4 other altcoins. Safeway shoppers can now get Bitcoin back as change at 894 U.S. stores. And the biggest university in Western Australia accepts Bitcoin for PhD program. But first, Bitcoin Zay, what's going on with that Cryptocoin and that price analysis for the day?
Oh, yeah. So, unfortunately, we do not have Cryptocoin winning from yesterday. But as far as the prices go, been a good amount of movement for altcoins today. Unfortunately for Bitcoin, not a lot of movement. Down 0.3% at $9,839. Ethereum down 0.2% at $218. Litecoin up 1% today at $94. Ripple still at 32 cents, however, up 3% on the day. And Bitcoin Cash, a big winner today, up 6% to $317. So we're seeing a lot of alts, so some small pops. Maybe it's the start of alt season going into August.
We shall see. What's going on, Shannon Allen, Tony Nolly, Tommy Brown, Andre Durden, Tessa Hall. Hello. All right, top story of the day. IRS is sending 10,000 tax compliance letters to crypto investors. As you said yesterday, I wonder if they're sending that to the 12-year-old, 13-year-old kid who started jumping on crypto and trading with his dad's allowance money he's been giving him. But
of course not.
The United States Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, is sending letters to crypto investors to clarify crypto tax filing requirements and in certain cases compel them to pay back taxes. Wow. The IRS announces a letter campaign in a press release today on July 26th. Right now, after the first paragraph, my biggest question, because of course they're doing this because the bull run is back, right? We didn't hear anything about taxes last year.
2018, 2016.
I mean, the first couple months we did until like they realized we were in a bear market. We literally didn't hear any tax. I mean, even going into this year, the first this tax season, we didn't hear anything about crypto tax.
Nope.
It was no money,
stories
right?
about it.
No stories.
No letters went out.
Nothing. But all of a sudden, in the middle of the year, now that the price is back, the IRS is back too. What's going on with this story?
Oh, man. So they've said that they sent more than 10,000 taxpayers this letter. I would say it's around 10,000 people. So I do want to point out 10,000 people out of 300 million in the U.S. And how many crypto users are there? Let's say a million. That's a very small number of people, so it's not anything to get too alarmed about. However, they said they're mailing what are called educational letters, basically telling people, hey, if you want to file your taxes again and when appropriate, amend past returns and pay back taxes. That's what's going to happen because they are expanding into virtual currency. I'm of the opinion that they don't have enough staff to actually find all of the virtual currency transactions that are happening and will happen by next tax season. So they're basically going after big fish. And whichever 10,000 people got this letter, I'm sure they'll look at it and kind of say, well, you haven't given a clear guideline or guidance on it, because Coin Center actually came out and tweeted, reminder to the IRS, you can send these letters, but you still haven't given us any clear guidelines. If it was, it'd be on our website. So shout out to Coin Center for doing that. But yes, there's lawyers who actually, like Tyson Cross here, works for Forbes. He said his clients that use crypto have received some of these letters, but they don't know what to do. They're like, okay, well, you can tax this property, but what exactly do you use? So hopefully they have some clear guidance for people, the Ned Flanders who want to actually pay taxes. But for most people, it's hard to tax software people.
Right. What's going on, Close 71? Long time no see. Allison Thompson, Edwin IT, Richard, Jizzy Mac, Madam Crypto. Hello, Captain James. And to go along with this, first is one of those things where if you do get a letter, then I mean, if you've been doing some transactions on some regular websites, again, I told a story about USAA calling me. Now that I actually thought about it, it's probably because I did do a couple of crypto transactions, a couple of years ago through them. That's probably why. But if you get a letter, again, they're phishing, but it's also they might have something on you. So you do want to be careful on that. You moved a few $100,000 to crypto, you get that letter. It's basically like, hey, we get down and lay down right now. Give us something, or we're gonna come back to everything. So in that case, look, give them. If you did a few $100,000 crypto transactions, Give them 5, 6, 7,000. All right,
Yeah,
go ahead.
who knows?
Look, it's a criminal organization. I know you can either give it to them or you can give it to some lawyers to go after them.
Yeah.
And then the second thing, I mean, this is kind of like a phishing campaign, as you just said. But again, as you say, even coincidentally, like you don't have clear guidance. How are you coming after people? And then what's even worse about all this is kind of like the whole thing with guns. It's like they're going after the good guys. Yeah. They are, they talk about the money laundering and AML, KYC. The people who they probably have letters to send out to, or the people who they think might have skirted taxes, these are all the people who gave exchanges like Gemini and Coinbase their blood type, their social security number, where the mother lives. These are the good people. They had nothing to hide. They say, hey, I'm going to do the right thing. Whether the regulation is made or not, I'm going to follow this regulation. I'm going to create this regulation. I'm going to make sure I'm going to be a Ned Diddley gang Flanders. I'm going to have on my light green, yellow safety belt across my chest.
They still get caught up.
And you still getting caught up. Like, this is the worst part.
I'm pretty sure Coinbase snitched on you.
Right.
Out of the 10,000 letters, probably 9,000 came straight from Coinbase.
You remember Coinbase got subpoenaed, and they ended up giving away a lot of that customer information.
And that was about 4 months ago.
You're right. So it definitely adds up. It's in line. So when people say, well, why don't you want to use Coinbase? This is a reason why. For those people who are new to crypto, it's like,
snitch.
Well, why won't you just give up the tax and stuff? It's because they didn't consider this real at first.
Exactly.
So
until you start making
this
money,
is criminal.
Yeah, it's criminal.
This is what you call criminal. If it's kind of like our podcast right now. We get no attention from authorities, right? No one cares about, hey, we're going to tax you, how much guys you make and all that. Mm-hmm. Let these numbers start being 100,000 people a day.
Monetize again.
Let us really monetize this thing. All of a sudden, it's like, whoa, hold on. Have you been paying your tax? Have you been doing this? I'm like, well, we're on episode 500 now. All of a sudden, now you want to call us up, years later. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's the same thing. This is corruption at its finest. This is why America left Great Britain, the UK to begin with. Mm-hmm. But I guess, as they say, history repeats itself, and it's definitely repeating itself again. So
unfortunately. Yeah, make sure you hit that like button, and share button. Make sure you hit that.
And again, the craziest thing, exactly, just Mac, it's a shakedown. The craziest thing about this entire IRS shakedown is this. If the IRS and every other government entity were to just like less than 1% of money, let's say all the money the IRS gets from taxes this year, less than 1%, buy Bitcoin with less than 1% of all the tax revenue we receive from Americans this year, you will never need to tax anyone on crypto anything going forward. Yeah. So it's just like this is an imaginary problem our government's creating, of course, because with this imaginary problem, we can create more jobs. And by job creation, they mean more prison beds, more people to create stuff for prison, because this is all it does. Mm-hmm. We saw it the other day. A guy created an exchange. He operated, made a couple $1 million. He got 5 years in prison, right? This is the same thing. They are creating a blanket tax out the blue for something they didn't believe in all of 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And if you don't follow it, of course, we know that equals prison time. But the easiest solution to all of this is to just buy crypto with some of the money they already have, and there's no need to tax it in the future ever again. And
also, too, I want to point out, they call it virtual currency. That's very important because there's a difference.
So it's currency now.
Because the tokens on 2K is virtual currency.
That's true,
The tokens on Fortnite is virtual currency. If they keep calling it
tokens
virtual...
on PUBG now.
Exactly. Virtual currency. If they keep calling it virtual currency, I guarantee you there's law firms that will find a way to get crypto out of the conversation. Because if you don't call it explicitly a cryptocurrency, if it wasn't cryptographically created, if it wasn't a way for you private keys to be generated and for you to receive it, if it's just virtual currency, then yes, you can start, opening it up to, we'll tax children now because they have virtual tokens that can be exchanged for good. So, unfortunately, we have to go through this. I told people a long time ago is that the fact they mentioned it in 2014, they probably wouldn't have anything for another 5 years. Here we are, 5 years ago, or 5 years later, and they're just now sending out, some letters. It may take another 3 or 4 years before they actually start getting people with these virtual currencies. So, more power to them as far as what they're trying to do. But honestly, like you said, they could just solve this issue by not. Trying to fight against
but they don't want to. That's the craziest thing about all this. Mm-hmm. They want, our government wants to turn our own citizens into criminals. Like, this is what this is doing. It's literally, why are you skirting our tax laws that we haven't created on virtual currency? For one, your money in the bank is virtual currency at this point.
Yeah.
You using
PayPal,
Apple, PayPal, all that stuff. So that's all virtual currency. But our government are making criminals out of citizens right now. Mm-hmm. There's no reason for this. again, if you were to just buy Bitcoin right now, you wouldn't even need to tax. Even right now at this point, if they were to buy Bitcoin, they would never need to tax us again. So to me, this is an effort of the government to make criminals, and of course that creates jobs in their mind. Absolutely crazy. But if we want this to stop, we're going to come with solutions too. This is how easy it is to stop all this madness IRS. For everyone who received that letter, all 10,000 people, everyone needs to say no. You're not, write a letter back. Like just literally write a letter back saying no, and this is why. No, because you didn't believe in it 2 years ago. Now you're trying to tax me on something imaginary. No. And you don't even want to make it. You don't even want Libra's coin to go. I guess you don't even want this. You don't want this system. So what are you trying to tax? Again, I know it's scary and everybody thinks about themselves and them family. Well, I can't go to jail. My family. Well, okay. Everybody's going to continue to get taxed.
Keep doing it. Don't complain in the future.
Yeah,
that's all I ask.
Gang. And the perfect example for this is where we're at right now in California. Many people in California who have visited or live here complain about the high tax rate. You're talking 35 to 40% for some people, and I felt that pain already. So it's one of those things where you have a whole state of people complaining, citizens, constituents, yet the tax hike keeps going higher. But people keep paying it. You know what I mean?
People think they're defenseless. So.
It's a very easy way to stop all of this madness. Yet, as I said, no one wants to do it because everyone only thinks about them and their family or what they have going on. So, hey, we'll continue to hike that up.
Just keep on down this road until the aliens show up.
Until we get, basically, until, September, we'll figure out what's going on. Yep. All right, MIT fellow and NYU math professor says Libra copied off co-authored paper.
Man,
I saw that headline.
Sounds familiar.
And I said, you don't say. I got my first billion by doing it. You think I'm not going to get the trillion by doing it too? Alexander Lipton, a connection science fellow at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, an adjunct professor of mathematics. Did I say that right?
Adjunct.
Professor of mathematics at New York University, NYU, has claimed that Libra's white paper copied concepts for a coin proposed in his academic work. Lipton co-authored the paper Digital Tradecoin towards a more stable digital currency in 2018. In a July 26 interview with CoinDesk, Lipton said, quote, without being particularly obnoxious, I can tell you that the actual structure of Libra is pretty much lifted verbatim from the paper which Sandy Pentland and Thomas Harjono and I published last year. Before Bitcoin's digs into this, just looking at this, Alexander, first of all, you copied off Satoshi just like everybody else. A, so you copied. And B, I'm sure, trust me, we see the white papers, people. We see so many projects, even to this point today, so many a day. I can almost guarantee if I were to just randomly go to my email right now and pick out a white paper, it's going to read exactly like Libra's and Alexander Lipton's. You're not, I know you're at a smart school. You're probably a very intelligent individual, but I highly doubt, and even if they did copy, you guys aren't doing anything different.
Do something.
You're not. Well, they're not even doing nothing brand. You didn't create Bitcoin.
There's 100 stable coins.
Right.
There's a bunch of.
What are you talking about? You might have copied off Feathercoin for all I know. You might have copied off BitBean. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But they have this coin called Tradecoin. Supposedly be backed by traditional commodities, which is what Facebook is proposing with Libra. So, for instance, the resources that are available, oil, gold, base metals, agriculture, all those things will be used to back the currency, which is what they wrote about. This has been written about hundreds of times. Like I said, I've seen a bunch of white papers use this. However, they may have had some sort of small twist or change to it, which Libra decided to go forward with. However, at the end of the day, if somebody steals your work and the most you can get out of it is a story on Cointelegraph, see him. Go see him. I don't even know why you put the story out. You should have this conversation with his people, or your lawyer should be gearing up now. Unfortunately for you, also too, if you write a paper and it's based on some sort of stable coin, that's been done already. So it's going to be really hard to go into court.
You didn't do anything new.
Exactly. It's going to be really hard to go into court and say, I need a patent or I need to. Libra, they sold it. Facebook itself, it's $1 billion.
What are you talking about? Some professional thieves.
Professional thieves. He stole it from 265 athletes who could have jumped him and somehow got away with it. So if y'all aren't gonna do anything, let it ride. Just be known as the guys who got their Facebook Libra stolen, because I don't see anything happening from here.
First of all, Mark Zuckerberg name to me is no longer Mark, it's Marlo Zuckerberg. And that's Marlo from The Wire. Because Marlo Zuckerberg is out here like, hey, if you got a problem, is that the, what's the guy they killed in the show?
Take what you want.
What's the guy they killed and he took the plug from him?
Oh, Prop Joe.
Oh, yeah, when he got Prop Joe.
Yeah, we took Prop Joe.
Hey, the guy, all the rest of the crew is like, whoever come to this meeting and say they got the new hookup, we know who killed him. He walked in and said, yeah, you know what? I know what y'all wonder. I did it. And you got a problem moving on forward, you can either speak up to me or you can sit on it.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like that's what Marlo Zuckerberg is doing now to everyone. I mean, he's been doing this since back in the day, so it might be something we don't know behind the scenes. Maybe the Gemini twins did trying to see him in the bathroom one day. He twisted them both upside down. I don't know. I heard he does a lot of curls in his free time. He's a robot. They get stronger. I don't know. But my point is that, as you said, there's nothing Lipton can do unless he's going to go have a conversation with her. But my point, Alexander Lipton didn't do anything original at all. For everyone who's talking about crypto projects being stolen at this point, you all stole it from Satoshi Nakamoto. And he was the only one who really did it right. I mean, we got 80-page white papers now for no reason. Yeah. But he actually said, Lipton confirmed that the way Facebook is backing their virtual currency is not what the authors had in mind for their proposal. Quote, we were thinking about raw material producers, supranational organizations, and possibly a couple of large-scale payment providers, but certainly not the likes of Uber. To me, this also sounds like he's working with the government because he's basically saying we didn't want a private company to have this all to themselves. We wanted governments to have this, and we
that
wanted.
Might be why they're pushing back.
Come on, man. We wanted large-scale payment providers, i.e., J.P. Morgan Chase, the paper, the good old gang. We wanted the good old boys and girls over here. We didn't want this new private corporation. So to me, we talked about this the other day. It seems like conspiracies, and again, this might have nothing to do with the Facebook and government battle. But people, just trust me, you can't be stupid. Like, the government is going to come at you from every direction, and this is one direction to even negate Facebook from even having ownership of the Libra project to begin with. Then this is a great direction for them to go in.
Oh yeah.
And again, this would be kind of the thing on Mark Zuckerberg's here for Marlo to say. Whether you guys rule, because what if this does go to court and they say, you know what, Facebook, this is not your project anymore. You cannot move forward with this. It'll be up for Mark Zuckerberg to kind of be like, I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah. I'm going to do it anyway. So we shall see. There's a couple of comments right now. Clarence Dennison said Zuck about to be like Bill Gates from the 80s. I know, right? Sergeant Crypto said, I think he looks like Data from Star Trek's Next Generation. Yeah, Edwin IT said he's a robot T1000. You already know.
He does not blink.
Listen, that guy, that's what I'm saying. He might be strong on the low. Tessa Hall said the bottom line is that they want control and they want to keep people from financial freedom. That is what we have been telling people from years.
Oh, yeah.
Edwin IT said he was in Los Gatos 2 weeks ago. A 3-bedroom house was going for a cool $1,000,000. And a 3-bedroom out here for $1 million is actually pretty decent.
Pretty cheap, yeah.
But yeah, so, it is what it is. Abra is back in the news. Abra restricts Americans from holding EOS and 4 other altcoins.
Oh,
what?
Yep.
Come on. We have been doing so well. California-based crypto wallet service Abra will restrict some services for American users starting in August. What is going on here?
Starting August 29th, if you use Abra, U.S. users will not be able to hold Quantum, Bitcoin Gold, EOS, Omis Go, and Status.
Oh, some names I haven't seen in a while.
I know, right? It seems as though you either have to exchange or withdraw these assets from the app, which is crazy to me because they built an app with these assets, onboarded all these people, got all the metrics and all the marketing behind it, and then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, the U.S. regulations won't allow us to move forward with it. So now you got to, dump it and go from there. This is just a ploy by tech companies. They bring in U.S. customers.
Give me that data.
As somebody who's worked on startups and worked in tech, they reel you in with the freemium model.
We just need your email address.
We just need all your email address, and that's pretty much your phone number.
Oh, we got a phone number too?
And we
out here making
any
money.
proof that you use crypto, boom, we got the data we need. Right. We send it out. We're good. Oh, yeah, and by the way, regulation won't let us go forward with it. So, because usually whenever regulations do come down, down, they don't start off with jail. They send you a letter first, and if it takes a year or two,
10,000 IRS letters.
Exactly.
You gonna give us something?
Cool. It'd be like, well, we've already made millions, so we'll take that, and then we'll find another way to make that money back from the users who are leaving. But this seems to be the process Abra's going through. We've seen this with Poloniex. We've seen that with a few other different ways. So if you aren't picking up the pattern, people, this is how big companies take over. This is how they get you. They draw you in. They get your information. And then they ban stuff that you can't use in the crypto world. So customers in New York State will also be affected. They can only hold Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Everything else is off limits, which is crazy.
Funny how Bitcoin Cash made it there.
How? I don't know.
Like, what? These are backhand deals, people. Like, if you can't see this, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Bitcoin Cash has a CEO.
Crazy.
And they make it on his list.
Crazy.
Of course, they have to say Bitcoin because there's no stopping it, period. Litecoin has always been attached to Bitcoin. Ethereum, of course, has been one of the second biggest one for forever. So those are the ones they have to have. But, I mean, at this point, I'm surprised I don't even see Ripple on there. I guess Ripple didn't want to pay the extra $50 million fine to somebody to be listed. But for Bitcoin Cash to be on there, crazy.
Bitcoin trash.
That is crazy to see it.
Well, Abra, they've moved over to that side now. Well, they're already there, but they basically said, "Yep, we get the tap on the shoulder. Yes, sir, we'll do it," and that's what's happening.
And the crazy thing again with stuff like Abra right here in that tap on the shoulder, you don't need to use it, people. You have wallets. I saw a comment at the bottom and somebody said they can easily move it to their hardware wallet like the Ledger Nano. I mean, we talk about wallets on here all the time. Ledger Nano is a perfect example. You got the Armory on the desktop, Exodus on the desktop, BRD wallet or blockchain wallet. You know, there's just so many wallets you can use that they don't have control over. It makes this shouldn't be an issue, but for people who are saying, "Oh crap, I'm on there," you gotta keep your crypto off these type of things.
Yeah, get it and move it, or don't get it from there at all.
Right, is no need to. Wire Sparks said U.S. regulators are out here sniping projects. Look, they are trying to hold back this bull run.
I'm telling you, when the bull run commences, they want you to be so beat down, like, oh
you're
my
tired.
God, you're tired. Like, I can't really do it. Got to stay vigilant, Warriors.
Yeah. Tessa Hall said all the pop-up restrictions are getting on my nerves.
Tell me about it.
Wednesday and Friday, people. Does it fail or what? Like Wednesday and Friday. Sometimes you get some Monday morning ones that rolled over from the Friday night meetings. Wednesday and Friday. No one's paying attention, and they are sliding stuff in there.
Oh, yeah.
Sergeant Crypto said those are some crap coins anyway. Clarence Dennison said watch the TV show Continuum. That is what they're planning with the Libra coin. I haven't seen Continuum. Let me throw this in my notes, though, because I definitely want to check it out myself.
Bet.
All right. Safeway shoppers can now get Bitcoin back as change at 894 U.S. stores.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
And as soon as you get the change back from these stores, they're also going to send you an email on your receipt saying make sure you call the IRS tonight.
Yeah.
They want their money.
That $3 you just got in return, we need that. Yeah.
Bitcoin Rewards shopping at Lolly, which we have talked about before, has partnered with the major American grocery chain Safeway to give customers 3.5% back in Bitcoin on all their purchases. Wow. Huge news.
That is huge.
According to a blog post announcing the new partnership on July 25th, Safeway and Albertsons company subsidiary operates 894 locations across 17 American states. The system will reward customers in Satoshis, sats, the name given to 100 million of one Bitcoin, the smallest unit of cryptocurrency. Oh my! We gotta listen.
Oh yeah,
we have to. The fact that they're actually going to give it to people in sats, in actual Satoshis. There's so many people who are just now hearing about Bitcoin, don't know nothing about it, and you talk about Satoshis, they're like mind blown. But for them to understand what a Satoshi is, to them to understand it's 100th of a million of a Bitcoin that you can actually, have cryptocurrency divisible up to this point for Satoshis is a huge move in the right direction for mainstream adoption. I love this move.
Oh yeah, for those of you who do not know Lolly, you should get to know him, because Lolly, I put the website here on Facebook for those of you. If you don't want to buy Bitcoin, just buy what you regularly buy, and then you get cash back in the form of Bitcoin. A very low risk way to accept Bitcoin. And then a few months down the line, you may look up and say, hey, that $50 is worth 100 now, or whatever down the road, and you can use it to shop for other things. So this is great from Lolly's standpoint, getting Safeway on there, such a big company. And I'm sure, if you've ever visited Lolly, some of the companies that's there, Target, Home Depot, some other ones, I'm sure they'll get other big ones. I mean, right now they got Walmart, Gap, Macy's, Best Buy, Hotwire, GoDaddy, Sam's Club. What else? I mean, Hilton. What else do you want? Overstock. What else can
Captain
you really?
James said Walmart
Everything.
too.
Yeah,
wow.
Walmart. Yes, all of these are on Lolli. LOLLI. I've used them once before for a purchase. Got 6% back in Bitcoin.
Wow.
So it's one of those things where they're literally giving you free Bitcoin almost for the purchases you're gonna make anyway. If you're gonna buy it anyway, you might as well get Bitcoin cash back. So shout out to Lolli. They were just on CNBC today, I believe. Their CEO. So shout out to them. Shout out to Safeway, and I'm sure anybody using the Safeway and Albertsons stores are happy that they can get some Bitcoin for doing what they do anyway. And this is how you get mainstream adoption. You have people do what they do anyway, and then they can onboard into a new system. So looks good. Looks good.
And for some reason we've been frozen. I'm not sure why, but let's try this camera again.
Man.
There we go. Yeah, and edit name. So I saw edit name. He was asking this for, or he or she was asking, is this for Abra only? When the Abra thing for that article is
yes.
But edit name also said I've earned $300 of Bitcoin on Lolli so far, which is worth like $800 today. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know about this. I'm about to start using this. But to kind of go more in depth in this article, and it proves an earlier point. And I didn't even read this article yet. This is one of the articles Bitcoin Zay had already geared up for us. But what was this? Who said it? Lolli CEO and co-founder Alex Adelman was basically saying that he thought the initial during Bitcoin's initial days or its early days, everyone thought the cryptocurrency would be used as a payments rail. His view is that earning Bitcoin will be the quote first wave that gets Bitcoin in the hands of masses. Yep. I can agree with that.
We've said that too with rewards. We've constantly said if you give rewards in crypto, people aren't buying it. So they're not expecting a speculative store value that they're watching the price every day. If they're just earning it over time and it's just based on stuff they do, some of the models we saw, hey, you use electricity, you earn crypto. If you buy this, you earn crypto. If you use crypto, you get 10% off. That's how you bring in the mainstream. People are not going to change their regular routines. People have kids, lives, mortgages, hobbies. They're not going to change much. But if you can tweak it just a small bit and say, hey, instead of buying there, buy it here, and you can get some money back, that's how you bring people. So I love, that they mentioned that. Better as a point system until it becomes a stronger medium of exchange and a better unit of account. So good to see from Lolli.
And with that last little quote that the CEO said, Adelson, this is him again, he said that he argued cryptocurrency was a better store of value, likening it to a savings account, as you just said, which you can reap lucrative rewards for long-term holders as compared to retailers' traditional fiat currency dominate loyalty cards. He's quoted as saying points, as you know, are deflationary and Bitcoin is non-deflationary. So I think it's a better store of value than an arbitrary point system.
Exactly.
First of all, I love how you said than an arbitrary point system because, again, you're talking about all these different companies out there. You know, you got Libra now leading the way. But these are all centralized private coins. You basically might as well have a USD dollar because that's a private thing as well. But and the second thing is kind of going along with what we said with the IRS. This is a private company like showing and telling, hey, we don't need to have a reward system with backed by fiat currency. We don't need to do this X, Y, and Z or these investments or educational plans or any of that.
Straight Bitcoin.
All we have to do is go to all our systems for it probably took about 2 or 3 days, 4 days, because this is software, people, to actually update the system. Now, it might take you a few weeks to actually train people on it and, to give them the messaging. So a customer say, what's a Satoshi or what is this? It's going to take a while to train your staff. But as far as getting that software on your systems, you don't need to update your actual system. You just need to download the software. So that will take no time at all. And they already see the value of it. Why can't the IRS do the same thing, people? Where they say, hey, let's just go on an exchange. Let's go to Coinbase since it's backed by the U.S. government at this point. And let's use less than 1% of all this tax revenue we received last year. I mean, you don't have to less than 1%. You can use 0.01%, people, and just buy the Bitcoin, and you won't need to do anything else. So we see a private company doing this because they understand how smart it is. I mean, hell, we see Facebook, another private company, saying let's create a cryptocurrency. Yet our government is not moving in any of this direction to buy some or hold some, at least not publicly. Yet they're trying to tax people. They are trying to create criminals out of thin air, people. You've got to push back on this one. All right, and last but not least, ending on a great note. Biggest university in Western Australia accepts Bitcoin for PhD programs.
Oh yeah.
Western
Great.
Australia. All right, Richard, you got to tell us about this story. Curtin University, the largest university in Western Australia, with over, assuming they are missing a zero, so it's 58,000, but this story I see says 58,000. Students announced the launch of a cryptocurrency PhD program on July 23rd, 2019. What is going on, Professor Bitcoin Zay, with this program?
Well, Curtin University is one of the latest to allow payments. The Cryptocurrency PhD Scholarship Fund will allow companies to study blockchain, cybersecurity, and data analytics, but it will be funded completely with cryptocurrency. Focus on cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. The higher education program will be using Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's great to see from their assistant, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Gary Allison. He notes it's a good opportunity for cryptocurrency investors to foster a new generation of PhD graduates who will help develop this new technology. For those of you out here who have any type of college you went to, if you are alma mater for any college, at some point you should be sending letters, talking to alumni, talking to professors that are there, and trying to get them to accept cryptocurrency as a payment system or to implement it onto their campus. Because if you want to get ahead, if you are at MIT, if you're at Stanford, if you're at Princeton, they have already started. They're already ahead of you. So you literally need to start like Monday. You should be calling and trying to get it. People think I'm serious.
Have your phone, have your list together by Sunday.
I would say by your homecoming in October. By that time, there should be at least some plan being developed because, as you can see, this is the largest university in Australia is implementing this in Western Australia. What's the largest university on the West Coast? It'll probably be Stanford. This is basically like them implementing
the largest, most.
Well, yeah, I would say I don't know the largest, but whatever the largest one is, they are literally implementing crypto payments, and they are doing it right in front of your face, and they're going to make so much more money off of it. Their PhD program will probably pass other PhD programs. So this is good to see from them. And it definitely should be encouraging for other people to do at their own colleges. So we've seen the University of Nicosia. That was the first university I saw that allowed students to pay in Bitcoin. Now we've seen a few more start to do it, and now Curtin University.
There it is. And again, this would be interesting to see in the next 3 to 5 years. Maybe I'll say probably 7 years, 5 to 7 years. At this rate, maybe 3 to 7 years. But when people start asking for, well, do you have a PhD in this? Do you have this? And our warriors can say, look, man, hey, check out my social media. I've been on this thing for 6 years. Ain't nobody going back to school for that.
Yeah.
But you know, it'll be a good thing to see. More people can be streamlined, and a lot of the information that, you know, when you first get into crypto, it's so much stuff and you're confused. All this information can be streamlined with a program. That is a good thing about having an actual program where it's like you're not going in there looking at every direction. I mean, honestly, if you want a pretty decent streamline to almost all things crypto is going on in the environment, some of the people's names, where you can do your job, then there's a book out called Bitcoin in Black America, which literally streamline a lot of that stuff. So
outlines all of that.
Bitcoin Zay, you know, he wrote that book. Like I said, it's a great job. It's a great refresher. But this is the type of stuff that we need. We need more products like that. We need more schools like that, and we need more curriculums like that, where if you're brand new, you don't have to go online and say, I don't know where to look, this is too much stuff, and give up. You can just have a curriculum, a book, or whatever else you need to have. Take a few hours, go through it, the books or the curriculum, you know, half a year, semester, and you be caught up with, you know, the person that's been in for a couple years possibly. So something good to look at.
Oh, yeah.
All right, for the free cryptic coin, what are we doing today?
Oh, yeah. So for the free cryptic coin, let us know if you received a letter from the IRS. If you have, let us know. Tell us what it says, and or if you haven't, let us know what you think about it.
Yeah, if you were to receive
a letter, what would you do with it? Let us know what you would do with the IRS letter.
Don't be on here lying. No, 90% y'all.
90% of you will get on your reading glasses and review carefully. But let us know what you would do. Put your cryptic coin address, and we'll send those free coins to you.
I might listen. Keep telling you, I'm Wolf of Wall Street out here. You know what we do with subpoenas? This is what we do with subpoenas. And then I'll be like, all right, I'm moving to Guatemala. Everybody trying to move up north. I'm about to move down south for a few months.
Oh, yeah.
Let this heat die. All right, people, that was our show for today. Oh, wow. Game of Thrones said I've been audited the past 3 years.
Gotta jump on that, player.
Man, just look, move out the country for like 6-7 months.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you were to move out the country, people, last little thing right here, a little tidbit. You can't forget, people forget how valuable we are. Human capital is real. That's why the U.S. tries to create criminals, because of human capital. Why pay somebody when you just give them do it for free, right?
Yeah.
So if you actually were to move out the country or something, or leave for 8 months, 9 months, and go somewhere like in the Middle East, like Dubai or some Abu Dhabi, where it's a tax-free zone, Oh, listen, I'm telling you, our country would they would give you a welcome package and a first class plane ticket back. All these people always say, well, just leave the U.S. if you don't like it. Our country wouldn't listen. If people start to leave the U.S. in masses, we would have a wall up, and it's to stop us from leaving because human capital is real. Never forget that. All right, people, have a great Friday and a great weekend. We will see you all Monday. If you haven't already, make sure you go on Amazon and pick up Bitcoin Zay book, Bitcoin in Black America. Again, it's a pretty great refresher, and if you're new to the crypto space, it's a good outline on what's going on in it.
Yes, sir.
All right, other than that, have a great day, folks. Cheers.
Cheers.